Welcome back for part 2 of our Proposal Writing 101 video series. I'm Natalie King, the second programming coordinator here at the gallery, and in this segment of the video, I'll be talking about project descriptions, install/technical descriptions, and curriculum vitae, otherwise known as CVs. Here, you'll see an image from Flowing Still, curated by Anki Lee, featuring work by Tizzy Tan and Zim Yu from our 2022 annual graduate residency for OCAD-U students. Project description, 500 words max. Should give a clear description of the specific work you are proposing. We want to know what's going into the gallery, what it's about, and how it relates to your practice as a whole. Describes the work as an object, installation, or situation in a way that enables visual/sensory comprehension. This is not only what the piece is about, but what it is. Describes how you hope viewers relate to/experience the work. Avoid making claims about how viewers will experience or interpret the work. It's always best to speak from your position as the artist with exploratory goals, rather than define how your work is going to be interpreted. Speak as though you're leaving space for a dialogue with the audience. Project description, tips. Avoid using vague descriptors of the work. Example, interact. Be more specific. Mix creativity with legibility when describing the work. Relate it back to your artist's practice statement. In some ways, you can think about proposal writing almost like an essay, with the flow and organization of thoughts that is interrelated with other sections seeking to convey a singular idea or project. Keep no secrets. Tell us everything. It may spoil a surprise that your project may contain, but transparency is necessary. Avoid art speak. Be mindful of using accessible language. We don't care to hear how smart sounding the writing is. We are ultimately interested in discerning the viability of the project, which includes understanding the work in an easy way. Curator/group applicant tips. In addition to the general tips, break down each participant's individual contributions, conceptually and physically. 2 to 3 sentences per participant will do. Outline how the works relate to each other in this space. If possible, hearing about the potential ways they could cohabit a space helps paint a better picture of what the show could look like. Outline how the works relate to each other in the space. As a reminder, just because you put out a call for submissions doesn't mean you need to accept all artists from the call. We've seen calls where curators have mixed pre-selected artists with artists chosen from a thematic call. We've also seen curators select nobody from the call. At the end of the day, it is simply just research. If you are a curator and you are looking to put out a call for submissions, mention it. It shows the jury that you're interested in researching how the community would engage with the show. If there are any aspects of the proposed project that are site-specific, list them. Examples: painting the space, obscuring certain pathways of the space or layout, etc. Install/technical description, 250 words max. Should include tentative install plan/schedule. Equipment, tools, and materials required for install. Example, projectors, computers, hooks. Installation assistance or shipping, if needed, and any associated expenses. May range from very simple to complex depending on your project. If your project requires a lot of or very specific equipment, check with the gallery first to ensure it can be supported. If you are able to provide your own equipment, projectors, etc., be sure to indicate that. If you have specific skills that will enable you to build and/or install your complex installation, indicate that as well. As a general rule, with enough notice, Xpace can acquire most tools/specific installation materials. Install/technical description tips. Although we have basic materials and equipment at the gallery, we may not have all requested materials. We can rent equipment with notice instead. Installation, not creation. Assume the gallery has nothing you need, list everything. Example, we have a few projectors at the gallery, but not 6 identical ones. Include a contingency plan in the event your first plan falls through. We're just looking to gauge how prepared/responsible artists are, and like to see that artists are demonstrating initiative and resourcefulness in executing ambitious projects. If your project requires a complicated install process, outline a tentative plan for deinstall as well. Again, looking for preparedness here. If your proposed exhibition includes performance or live engagement, list how often and for how long performances and engagement will last. Exhibition runs are 6+ weeks long, so we'll need to know how an exhibition featuring performance fares in an extended run. If your project includes audience engagement, talk about how you intend to oversee and manage participation. As something to consider, Xpace staff are gallery sitting, but also working full-time in an office, and can't spend all day managing audience engagement as much as we'd like to. Curator/group applicant tips. In addition to our general tips, break down what installation-related things you'll need per contributor. Xpace encourages main space applicants to think about adjacent programming in relation to the proposed exhibition. If you've got something in mind, mention it. If those events have any technical requirements, list them too. Adjacent programming could look like curatorial tours, screenings, performances, listening parties, publication launches, workshops, roundtable discussions, artist talks, and more. CV, curriculum vitae. Max 3 pages, 6 for group submissions. For Xpace's purposes, your CV gives us a sense of where you're at in your professional practice. We'll give the programming committee a sense of whether or not you fall within our mandate, which is emerging artists. Your CV should include all relevant experience, including education, professional experience, residencies, talks/workshops, publications, and press. It can also have nothing on it. Xpace's mandate is emerging artists, which means that for many artists, we will be your first professional arts opportunity. CV tips. Part 2. Be sure to include consistent formatting. Tailor your CV to wherever you're applying. Leave in what's important and take out what is unnecessary for you for what you are applying for. For applications with numerous participants, compile a single PDF with 1 page per participant. This will make the document easier for the programming committee to look at. The plainer the CV, the better. Again, as long as the information is understandable, that's all we care about. As a miscellaneous note, we look at CVs to determine if artists fall within our mandate, which again is quite flexible. And that was part 2 of our Proposal Writing 101 video series. Next, I'm going to throw it over to Philip to talk about support materials, general etiquette, and conclusion.